YouTube, y'all can hear us now? We good? Let me let the team in.
Let's do it. Let me pull the mic up.
Let the team come in. They about to let the realest team in.
We've been nonstop this week, man. No sleep till Brooklyn. We've been nonstop, man. Market Mondays, DJ Envy.
Packed up the studio.
Caesar. Yesterday, of course, the legendary Gary V on the podcast. And today we're going to give you some legendary information, man. My man Justin, cryptocurrency, the hottest thing out right now. On your leisure, man. That's what we here for.
What's going on? Just, I see you. I'm going to let you in 2 seconds, bro.
Yeah, this is something that we definitely thought it was fitting. The time is right now. There's so much news coming out about Bitcoin, Ethereum, NFTs, non-fungible tokens. It's crazy. Like, Mark Cuban talked about that. Then Gary Vee spoke about that. A lot of that stuff is built on the blockchain. All of it is built on the blockchain. A lot of it is built on Ethereum platform. So, we understand that, there's so much stuff that we have to cover. It's bigger than just stocks on Market Mondays. Like, like Earn Your Leisure is a smorgasbord of information. Everything, every aspect of finance is what we cover. And that's everything. And of course, we have to cover cryptocurrency. So, we spoke about it a few times, but we thought it'd be good to just do a real deep dive. And the purpose of these is to really educate people and start at the, where everybody's at, catch you where you at, and take the time to really just, grow and all learn together.
Yeah,
that's what we're here for.
It's a beautiful thing. Even doing the research for it, it was like having flashbacks of those times in 2017 where it was really no sleep for real, doing 24-hour shifts and reading white papers. And so we're gonna let y'all inside of the process. Some of the stuff that we learned and we're still learning. Like the NFT thing was a new conversation for us, but it was like exciting because all right, we have to go find something new to learn. So we're gonna let y'all in, and hopefully we'll open your eyes to some things that you didn't know, and hopefully you leave from this conversation knowing more than you did before you got here. And so you can take it back. The only fee is go tell somebody else, go teach somebody else what you've learned.
Yeah, a lot of people may not know our history. I know we got a lot of new people that have come aboard. So shout out to everybody that's a new earner, but you got to understand that we have actually been in crypto for years. We was in crypto in 2017, early 2017. So this is really nothing new to us. We was in crypto years, and we stayed. At least I stayed.
I'm still there. I'm still there.
Kept our position.
My Litecoin finally came back.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about it too much because it wasn't really, it wasn't the buzz of the town. Stocks became something that everybody wanted to know about. So, we rode the wave, and we are not. We don't discriminate. So
no one trick pony.
Yeah, no. But we're not new to cryptocurrency. We spent hours in my apartment mapping out strategies, getting nano ledgers, figuring out how to move coins, figuring out privacy coins.
Remember the
Masternodes. No, we've been doing this for years. Like we literally stayed up to 3 o'clock in the morning. That's when I first learned about the whole pump and dump, way before GameStop. Seeing it every single day in crypto, watching altcoins, Bitcoin. This is something that we've been doing for years. So
yeah, I'm still paying for the Masternode. So like that's a more advanced conversation in the crypto space, but the Masternode just generates coins. That's all you do. You're mining coins in a sense all day. And then every, few hours, you just make sure that your screen's not sleeping. Because if your screen goes to sleep, then that slows down the process. So imagine that every few hours you're waking up to move your mouse or just keep it on and let the electricity just run up. So it's a different game. But I'm glad that we played in it because now we got some knowledge in it.
So we're gonna get right to it. Let's get the bro on.
The boy wonder himself.
Let's get him on. And
what's going on, boss? How y'all feeling?
Just
good, brother. What's going on with you?
Everything is good. Everything's good. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Platinum plaques on the wall and all that.
It's
look like an R&B singer.
He's about to go record his demo.
Let me get this thing right. Let's get this. There we go. All right, I look better now.
There we go. The chairman himself.
There he goes.
Platinum in the streets.
Is it frozen or is it working?
I think you're frozen.
You just froze. You was good before, but then you just froze just now.
Okay, something happened. All right, I'll just go back to this camera.
All right.
What's up, brothers? How y'all?
They asking if you want to sign them to a record deal right now.
Yeah, you look like you the A&R at Motown Records right now, man.
EYL Records.
Nah.
How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing?
We great, man. We great.
Good, man. Nah, Justin's a great dude, man. I'll give the quick introduction. If anybody hasn't watched this podcast, you're doing yourself a tremendous disservice. What episode was it, Troy?
Episode, Justin, is 118, I believe.
118. Let's just verify that.
I'm gonna check. Right
but Justin, we met Justin a while ago in Atlanta. You know, we spent a lot of time in Atlanta, and you know, he's friends with our friends, Circle of CEOs. So all of those guys are a good friend of ours. Alex, Good Energy, Mr. 2 Weeks Out, Nehemiah Davis, him 500, the whole crew. Shout out to Gooch, shout out to everybody out there, Jeremy Anderson, and
119.
119, episode 119. And Justin was just a good dude, man. He just met us, super humble, and was just, you know, just giving us game, like telling us about, you know, what he was doing with Forex and cryptocurrency and trading. And we realized that we had a lot of synergy because, you know, obviously everybody knows, like, you know, we're heavy in stocks. And, you know, a lot of the charts that he was explaining to us that he was using for Forex and crypto was the same charts that we use for stocks. And, you know, it's all kind of the same language. So Justin, extremely successful. He looks like he's 12 years old, but you know what I'm saying? He's extremely
seasoned vet in the game.
Seasoned vet in the game, extremely knowledgeable, great communicator, and just overall, just a really good dude, man. So when we wanted to do the crypto and Forex episode, he was the first person that we called, and we got it done in Atlanta. And then, you know, I realized that there's so much information about cryptocurrency, you know, there's still a lot of people that don't really know, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, this is why we're here, to give people the information. Like, you know, sometimes people just hear so much stuff and they feel like it's too advanced for them, or it's already too far for them to actually get in. But no man, no woman shall be left behind, man.
We're not leaving anyone on the show.
Nah, we here to save everybody. So
I'm not sure what happened. I think can y'all still hear me?
Yeah,
you just went out.
You good?
We can see you too.
Yeah, you good.
Y'all can still hear me? Okay. I don't know what happened to sound, but
you good.
Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. What was the thing you asked last? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't introduce you yet.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, I just saw y'all chilling. I was like, okay, what happened?
Nah.
Y'all go ahead.
We about to get into it. So yeah, I'm not going to talk too long. I'm gonna let Justin take the stage, but first I just want to let people know what this is. So if you're new, so we have EYL University. EYL University is the biggest, the strongest online community education in the world, period, when it comes to business. So, you know, we look at it like we have public school, we have private school. So EYL University is our private school. So with EYL University, it's like the podcast on steroids. It's an extension of what we do every day for free on YouTube, on Instagram, and with our podcast. But EYL University, we actually just, you know, some people just, you know, you need your handheld. You just need a community around you. So with EYL University, we do a class every single Wednesday. Every single Wednesday, we do a class on a different topic, whether it's credit, whether it's stocks, whether it's real estate, today's cryptocurrency, and it's a Zoom class. So the presenter presents for about a half an hour, then we open it up for question and answers, and it's like a real classroom. We do that every single Wednesday. So right now we have archived over 100 classes. And then also at EYL University, shout out to MG, the mortgage guy. He put together the Home Buyer's Blueprint, which is over 14 hours of everything you need to know to buy a home from A to Z. Like, if you think about it, buying a home is the most important thing that most people do, and there's no blueprint for it. So he provided a blueprint for it from A to Z, and that's part of it. We do monthly financial planning calls with me. I'm a financial advisor. If you didn't know that, that's part of it. We have a Facebook group with over 5,000 people in the Facebook group. That's lit. That's private. That's part of it. We have a movie club, which Troy heads up.
Yeah.
And then we have real estate calls every 2 weeks. We have real estate calls. So we built a whole community with EYL University.
You know
so
what they said? We forget to add.
What?
All the earners always tell me, Troy, you got to talk about the accountability teams.
Oh yeah.
So we got to highlight the accountability teams, which have been amazing, right? So a lot of times we share our goals with our family members, and they frown upon it because they don't really understand the vision. They don't really understand what it is to be an entrepreneur, have that type of spirit. And so with our accountability teams have become just you sharing your goals with people who have a common mind and a common thought process. And so that has grown. I mean, I remember we started with like 37 people, and it's well over 100, maybe over 200 people now. So shout out to everybody that's part of the triads, or I know there's a groups of 5 now. And so that's is incredible. And this Saturday we got orientation. So
yeah, we got orientation. So it's a whole vibe.
Yeah.
And we actually have 10 employees now. We have 2 full-time employees for EYL University, 8 for Earn Your Leisure. So it's a business too. We employ people, and we're running it like a real institution. But the difference is that it's extremely affordable. All of that, what I just named, for $500, 75% off, $500 for the entire year. So we have to raise the price because we have employees and we have overhead. So the price is going to get raised in 3 days. But until then, we have that. So what we do every Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month, we open it up. We don't hide what we do. We show it to the world. So the last Wednesday of the month, we do open enrollment, which is an open EYL University class, so everybody can see it. And if you're interested in joining, you can join. If not, you get free information. So today's class is on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and everything you need to know. I'll put the link to EYL University in the chat. It's EYLUniversity.com. No promo code needed. 75% off right now. And yeah, invest in your education if you're interested. So without further ado, Justin, I'll give you the floor, my brother.
Yeah, and listen, I appreciate you all having me. I'm over here listening. I'm like, man, $500. That's a you know what I'm saying? Like that's, I don't even know if people that's on here, y'all understand the value that's in that. Like you couldn't probably pay them $500 to sit down one-on-one, but to have access to them, what they've been able to do. Congratulations, you guys moving into the #1 spot, man. That's big for your podcast. And I said it to you guys in person, and I'll say it again, but everything that you guys have sown, the last few years is you're talking about decades of blessings that's coming your way. So, I know not only I'm appreciative of what you guys have been able to build, but there are thousands of lives that will continue to be changed and literally millions around the world that will be able to live their lifestyle because of the things you guys teach. So appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
Hey, Justin, you need me to give you the ability to share screen or make you a host?
Yeah, you can. I'll pull up some things, but a lot of it, I'll be kind of just sharing some things on my camera and talking and just sharing some notes, just kind of some of the things that we were talking about. Because tonight's call is really, about digital currency. A lot of people call it crypto, but there's a lot of them now. So I wanted to, really just share with you guys some things that I've been able to do over the last, 4.5 years that I've been trading crypto and digital currency. I think one of the first things people ask is like, how do I start? Because there's so many places to start. Me and Rashad were texting last night about NFTs. I was up to about 4:30, playing around with things. I'm like, all right, after I did the last interview, one of my buddies texted me and he was like,
oh, your sound went out. Sound went out. Nah.
No?
Now you're good.
You're good now. You're good now.
Good. Yeah, and I said one of my buddies had hit me up about NFTs, and so I was studying that, and so the space is continuing to grow and evolve, and as we continue to grow and evolve, you got to just jump into it, and so I think the best place for a new person.
Oh, damn, they don't want him to be
great. Just.
They don't want you to be great.
Your sound's going in and out. You might want to use the other camera angle that you had before.
Yeah, maybe your mic.
Maybe that camera angle is different.
Oh, they froze him in the Matrix.
Yeah. It's always an issue with Zoom, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can see y'all, and I don't know what's going on. Like, I can see y'all and hear y'all. Y'all can't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, but it's going in and out. Did you switch camera angle? Like, you might want to use the other camera angle that you had before.
I can try it.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else you can do, Just? If you go to your volume settings and just make it from your desktop or your laptop, let that be your audio.
Okay, let me try that. Let me try that.
Yeah. Sometimes if the mic is too powerful, sometimes it throws the computer off a little bit.
Okay. Is this any better? Is it working any better?
Yeah.
We can hear you now.
We can hear you.
Okay. All right. Good deal. So it's a couple platforms that I think it's a good place to start. Coinbase, they have 2 of them, right? Coinbase, the regular one, is the easiest one to navigate for like a new person. So you literally can download that. And then it's another one that I've been using.
Yeah, you went back out again. You went back out again, bro.
Yeah, I don't know
They
why.
put you. They put
All
you in
right,
the matrix.
I'll try this camera.
Yeah. Use that link. Use that.
I don't
link.
look as good, but let's just see. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's like
Yeah.
right above my face. But yeah, so I use Coinbase, I use Exodus, and literally you just go to the site, you can go to your phone and you open up an account. It's literally that simple. Most of them have a verification that you have to go through, taking pictures, uploading your ID front and back, and then you have to go through the process of getting verified. So it's very, very simple. A lot of people ask me how to protect your coins. This is actually one of the ledgers that I actually use.
Flashback. Yep.
Yeah, you guys can see it here, right? The ledger Nano S. I think there's 3 or 4 of them that they actually offer right now. But I use the ledger Nano S. It's very simple to use. It's like a little USB that you can plug into your computer. And to me, it's one of the safest places to keep it. Exodus also has a wallet that's pretty secure. It's very similar. They have similar things that they put together, but very easy to use. If you decide to get one of these, okay, make sure you go to Ledger, like their actual website. I think it's like ledger.com, right? Let me just double check. I believe it's like ledger.com though. Make sure you go there because there's some that are like on Amazon and other places that are cheaper. But what's happening is people are setting these up and then they're stealing people's crypto. So, you know, there's always scammers that come around. So I would just make sure you go to the place, especially with your crypto. If you're going to be holding a lot, you know, if you're only going to have a little bit, you can actually keep it into a Coinbase. But obviously, you know, you have people that steal that as well. And so, you know, I would say definitely get some type of a wallet or something to be able to protect it.
So let's unpack that a little bit, because that's something that we had to learn when we first started. So for people, because I don't want to go over anybody's head. We want to make sure everybody gets the information. So we know it because we're in this space. But a wallet, for people that may not be aware of, that's where you're actually storing your cryptocurrency. And correct me if I'm wrong, Justin. The reason why you're storing it on the wallet is because it can be compromised if it's on a site. You know, it can be stolen. A lot of different things can be happening. Correct. And the reason why you said don't get it off Amazon is because people can program it where you actually, when you put it in, and they actually can read it, and they can steal your cryptocurrency. Correct?
So kind of what happens is that it's preloaded already, right? Because when you get the Nano Ledger, there's all types of passwords, right? So if I've already purchased one and I'm reselling it, which is really what's happening, I resell it, but I've already put the codes in. By the time you transfer your money to the wallet, I lock you out, take the money, and now it's gone. And that's why we try to take it off. Well, one of the reasons we take it off of these platforms like Binance or something like that is because they're not regulated, right? So like if you lose your money, there's nobody to call.
Yeah, there's nobody to call. And really, you know, because I had people say, man, that's scary. I'm like, but it's the same thing as if it happened, you know, if you was walking on the street with a whole bunch of money in your pocket. There's only so much you could do, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just, that's what it is. But this allows you to not only, it doesn't just have to be here too. Like as long as you got your passcodes and stuff like that, you can still access it. And it's something that's like literally yours. So it is scary, you know, from a sense, especially if you got a lot of currency crypto out there. But you know, I've had friends that literally took their cell phone to Apple or took it to T-Mobile and got their phone back, and crypto was gone.
Well, let's talk about that too, because we have a friend. Shout out to, I don't even say his name, but we have a friend that and I told him not to do this.
Yeah.
So on Binance, it was the two-way authentication, the Google two-way authentication, and I said, look, bro, before you get a new phone, take the Google authentication off of it, because when you get a new phone, it might not carry over. And he didn't do that, and he got a new phone, and he's locked out of his Binance account now because the old Google authentication is not on his thing anymore.
It didn't upload to it.
That is a nightmare. And especially if it's a lot of money on there. But you know, that's really one of the things that, you know, you kind of learn. So I hope y'all are taking notes on that stuff too, because it's like, you know, there's a lot of security, and then, you know, sometimes it's too much security that you can't even get back into it if there's a problem, you know. And so, you know, you keep stuff in safe places. They tell you how to secure it once you get it, and where not to put stuff and where not to save it. Because as this continues to go on, you know, I think you're just exposed when you're unaware. And I think that's what the power of this platform is. Once you're aware of it, like you don't think, oh, I'm gonna take my phone here and change this, how it could impact you later. So that's something that's really, really important. And yeah, there are some tokens that you can still stake. on the ledger. There's some that you can stake in other wallets. And if for those of y'all that's asking about staking, it's like you literally just let your crypto sit and it earns, a percentage by you just holding it. And so, I have some coins that stake. Some of them even stake on Coinbase. And then some of them stake on the ledger, and there's a couple other places that you can actually just let your crypto sit there, and it'll earn more of that particular crypto just to actually.
That was something that was real interesting to me when I jumped in the space. Is like there's some coins that it's kind of like a harvest where you plant the seed and then you actually grow more coins by just holding those coins. Like you might grow like 2 coins a day by holding the coin, and obviously by doing that you're actually making more coins, which in theory you'll be making more money because you'll have more of those coins, and all you got to do is actually just hold them.
That's kind of what the Masternode was doing.
The Masternode, the Masternode. Is Masternode still around these days?
I don't even know, bro. I haven't even heard about them in a while. I haven't heard anybody talking about. They make still, but I don't even know that much about.
So for those of y'all not familiar with a Masternode, what it was like you buy pretty much a coin that stakes, and it depends on which coin it is. Yeah. Every hour it just makes 5. So you just do that for a day, or you can imagine how many coins you get. But a lot of times it's extremely expensive because number one, the electricity bill that causes the power needed to do that. And
it's almost like mining. It costs you a lot of money. Like
it costs you a lot of money to do it. And so it obviously I can see why people would stop doing it because of the amount that it costs. And a lot of times it's so volatile that you might be staking the coins and you could have 1,000 coins, but if that coin depreciates, it's worth nothing. Now you've just been staking for no reason.
And a lot of these coins, that's why we wanted to have there's so much stuff to talk about. But with cryptocurrency, there's over 1,000 coins. Yeah. But a lot of the coins are worthless. They serve no purpose. Yep. And this happened during the crash in 2017, 2018. And a lot of those altcoins, a lot of those masternodes went down 99%.
We got them.
Yeah.
Still in our wallet.
That's how I still got something that's not worth a dime. But, and I think, that's one of the things that, like a coin market cap is helpful for. I mean, it's got so much data in there. It can help you understand how to, look up, different currencies. It'll tell you, how many currencies there are, because literally it's like thousands of them now. The same way that you have a whole bunch of penny stocks that pop up. I mean, there's digital currencies that popped up, and because it's kind of like the Wild Wild West, and it definitely was in 2017, 2018, it was the Wild Wild West. A lot of people kind of got taken advantage of, but Coin Market Cap is a good place to tell you like how many there are. You'll be surprised how many they are. One of the things I try to look at when I'm researching them is like, what utility does it serve? Like, what's the purpose of that particular currency? It's also going to tell you how much volume a day is coming in, and how big the entire market is, because the market has really grown. When I first started talking about it, it was like, the entire market of digital currency was growing towards $1 trillion. And then this weekend, when Bitcoin hit, 58,000, obviously it's retraced now. But when it hit, 58,000, just Bitcoin itself had a $1 trillion market cap. And so that was really important to really track and keep track of. And then it really organizes them based on how big they are. So right now, obviously, you're going to see that, Bitcoin's at the top. So basically, you get, Coin Market Cap helps you with some research and helps you identify potential opportunities that you want to look, to see how big a coin is.
Oh, you went out again.
So just while you're doing that, because a lot of people had to question the difference between a coin, because we keep saying coin, but there are tokens as well. And so that's a tricky distinction. And so to make some clarity or put some clarity on it, a coin is something that's native to its own blockchain. And so when you hear Bitcoin, it has its own blockchain. When you hear Litecoin, it has its own blockchain. When you hear Binance Coin, it has its own blockchain. So that's its own traction of history. Really, pretty much the blockchain is just a history of transactions. And so those coins have their own histories of transactions. When you hear the word token, and that comes up a lot, that is something that is built on another blockchain. And so the most popular one is probably Ethereum. Most people know Ethereum, and they hear it a lot. So a lot of tokens are built upon that, or Neo, which was something that we thought we were going to make a lot of money on. We were like, this is the next Ethereum. And so when tokens are built on somebody else's blockchain like Ethereum or Neo, that's when they get the title. So there's a few examples of tokens: Chainlink, Aave, which is what Mark Cuban was talking to us about, AAVE, Tether, which is almost like a stable coin. It kind of mirrors the US dollar. Those are all built on somebody else's platform. BitTorrent, which was part of Tron, which is which I lost some money on. I tried to get shy to get money in. But another one, it originally was built on Ethereum and ended up creating its own blockchain. So now Tron has a blockchain and BitTorrent's on top of that. And so that's the difference between the two. You have coins and you have tokens. Now, a lot of these things that are on CoinMarketCap that are listed, a lot of them are tokens. A lot of them are built on Ethereum because it's a platform made to have things built on top of it. That's what makes it a lot different from Bitcoin, because we don't even want to call it a currency. Right. So Ethereum's like the platform you're building on top of. Bitcoin is almost like, what you call it?
I think like the way I try to explain it is like the coin is kind of like, you know, like the highway. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, the coin is the highway, and then the token is the thing that runs on top of it, like the cars that's on top of it. So, you know, like Ethereum is the highway, but then you got things like Cardano and a lot of the DeFi projects and stuff that are really coming out. Even a lot of the NFTs that are running right now are on top of Ethereum. And so that's what's really got me interested in it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get more aggressive personally. I'm not making any recommendations, but I mean, there's so many things that are now going to be running on top of Ethereum and being built off of it. It's like, man, it only makes sense. It's really a deal, you know, right now.
And this is one of the things, a few things what really intriguing. The reason why I really started getting into crypto years ago is looking at, so anybody, if you're interested in crypto, you should definitely go to that website, CoinMarketCap.
Right? Well, yeah, somebody just put it in the chat.
CoinMarketCap.com. It's a great resource. And when my friend, shout out to Jason, he told me about crypto. This was in 2016. And at that time, it was, I forgot how much the market cap was, but it was like 500 billion or something like that. It was small. So that might sound like a lot. And even right now, it's at 1.5 trillion. That might sound like a lot of money, but you have to realize Apple as a company has a market cap of over $1 trillion. Right. So you have one company who almost has the market cap of the whole entire crypto space. So that would be like Apple being as big as the whole entire stock market. The reason why that's encouraging to investors, people like me, is because that goes to show you how much more room it is to grow. Mm-hmm. It's still at its infancy stages. Like $1.5 trillion is a lot of money, but that's not really a lot of money in the world of finance. Right. So that's something that's very interesting to me. So when I saw that, I understood that, okay, this still has a lot more room to grow because it's not even, it would be like a big company on the stock market. Like the whole thing would just be like a big company on the stock market. Yeah,
that's a great way to put it too. I never even looked at it like that, but that's a big deal. And I'm glad you put it like that, because I have a lot of people that hit me up, and I'm sure they talk to you guys too. But it's like they feel like they're so late. Like I'm late to the party. I'm like, no, listen, guys, you're early. You know, like a lot of the companies are just now getting involved, like Tesla, and I'm sure he was invested before then, but, Tesla just bought it, and, Square bought a few years ago, they bought some more, yesterday. And so like, it's just now starting. And I think one of the things we have to avoid is, is feeling like we missed it. And so now we don't even dive into it. We don't start learning it. I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and she was like, I just feel like I missed it with Bitcoin. I'm like, well, it's grown, right? But at the same time, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy a fraction of it. Like you're going on Coinbase. Some people don't even know that. I mean, it's something that's simple, but it's a big deal, because you feel like, man, I think it's, I don't even know what it is today, 50 something thousand. I know it pulled back, it might be in the 40s now.
Yeah, I think like 49.
I'm gonna give you the live. I'm gonna give you the live check-in 2 seconds.
Thanks. I'll check myself too. But it's, you don't have to buy. You could buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, and it's going to give you that particular fraction of a coin, or really any other coin that's out there. You could, like, let's say like I know Ethereum earlier today was like 1,600. Well, you don't have to buy a coin. If you got $1,600, you could buy one coin, or you can say, hey man, I got $500. Let me put 250 into into Bitcoin. Let me put another 250 into Ethereum, or whatever you want to do, so you can get a fraction of it. But guess what? That fraction still grows
at the same percentage points as if you would have bought the whole coin based on the dollar amount that you put in. And so, that's one of those things that was encouraging to me too, because, that allowed me in a person, really all of us, to start where we were instead of wishing that I had, $50,000 or $60,000 or whatever the case may be to get in some of these coins that are a little bit on the high side. But then you've got coins that are, less than $1, and some that are just a few dollars that you can take part in too. So it really just kind of depends on where your confidence is when it comes to trading it.
Yeah, I always say that was the original fractional shares. I had no idea what fractional shares were before we got into the cryptocurrency space, right? Because it was like I have $100, I'll buy a Litecoin, but Litecoin was $260 by the time I got to it, so I got a piece of it. And after I realized what that was, when I started hearing about people talking about it in the market, I'm like, oh, wait, I heard about that in the crypto space first.
Right.
And I just want to add to something you said about building on top of something. And so this is interesting because if you look at CoinMarketCap right now, the number 3 coin is Binance. And so if you're in this space, you know that Binance is like probably the number 1 exchange internationally for cryptocurrency. And so what they've done is brilliant, right? They charge a fee for every time somebody purchases on the platform. So if everybody's rushing into this space, what happens to Binance Coin? I watched it go from $12 to almost $300. I think it was $315 last week, just because of all of the hysteria surrounding the space. People are trying to get in. People are using Binance as a platform. So it would be like if we were trading in the S&P, and every time that you trade in the S&P, they were making money. Well, they are, but they were making money and you can invest in that. It's very similar, a very similar thing. So when people start you got to look at the space and treat it just like how you would treat the market. There are some very, very distinct similarities.
Yeah, and the Binance coin is into, like Jamal, he was talking about Binance coin forever. He been trying to get me to buy Binance coin for the last 2 years. And it's crazy because like Troy said, a lot of times in America, this is a gem right here, but a lot of times in America, we get caught up in just our country, what's going on in our country. And Binance is kind of like dead right now in America. But the vast majority of crypto use is outside of America. And I learned that when I went to Asia. I went to Asia for 30 days, 3 years ago. And that's what really opened my eyes to crypto too. Because, I was in Singapore and I felt like I was 30 years in the future. Like, it's good to travel and you go to a lot of these countries and you realize how far we are behind in technology and advancements. And cryptocurrency is something that is huge in Asia and all over. Like, what I'm saying? It's not just an American thing. So a lot of times we just look at like Coinbase is great. If you are trying to start in cryptocurrency, it's probably the easiest platform. And it's probably the safest because it's American. It's easy. It's on your phone. You can just go to Coinbase, get the app, and start investing. That's real simple. That's real easy. But the reason why the Binance coin is taking off like that, because they really have the market cornered outside of America, and it's the biggest platform. So it's like investing. If you watch the NBA, and it's like if the NBA had like an actual where you could invest in a whole league, like a league pass, like, you know what I'm saying? Like in order to get in there, you actually have to invest in there. So they're the equivalent of a Fidelity or TD Ameritrade. That's how you can kind of look at Binance.
Yeah. And then they get real tricky because when you go on the platform, if you don't have the currency pairs, you got to trade for Binance. Yeah. And so that's another level to it, right? Like you get your money, you trade it from Coinbase, but you send it to Binance. And then if you don't have the right trading partner, because that's key. If you don't have the right trading partner, you can't make the trade. And so what they've done was say, okay, well, if you don't have the right trading partner, you can exchange it for Binance coin. And now that becomes an automatic trading partner for anything, for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, all of them. And so again, you're using a platform, but now you're also using their coin. See how that works?
Yeah, it does. It's smart too, man. And that's I'm paying attention to even Coinbase because they're trying to get in the New York Stock Exchange as well. So that'll be an interesting play as that continues to unroll. But to y'all's point, America's really behind on the crypto game, and I think a lot of it's because they're trying to figure out how to regulate it, how to tax it, how to make their money off of it. But I realize even with XRP, because it's going through whatever's going through with the I think it's FTC or SEC, whatever one it is, and the owner was basically like, hey, listen. We want to be in America, but America is only 10% of our operations anyway. We just wanted to be located in America. But if America can't figure this out, we'll just go to another country and we'll continue to operate our business as is. And so it's just continue to get educated. And like you said, what I've learned is, I can't get too emotional about one particular coin, because, you can get set on one, like, yo, this is the one, everybody should buy this. And then there's other ones that are making equal moves in the market, or sometimes even bigger moves. And if you're just looking at one particular one, it's really hard to really take advantage of a lot of things that's happening in the market. Another thing, and I didn't mention this when I talked about another platform that you can actually trade it on, is, you can actually trade it. Some people don't know this, on the foreign exchange market. So you can trade, the Bitcoin versus the US dollar and Ethereum versus, Bitcoin and other things. And why that's useful is, like, let's say, like, over the weekend, Bitcoin went to, 58,000 a coin. Well, then it had a big retracement. So what happens as a trader in the market, you can enter, a 0.01 lot size or standard lot size or whatever you want to enter on a sell. And as it's doing this pullback, you're able to make money on that sell coming back down until you want to get back in and buy. And so what's been really cool is, as you start understanding the dynamics in the market, you're able to really start making money going up and on the moves going down. So you open up, like, there's an app called MetaTrader 4. Some people use MetaTrader 5. It doesn't really matter. But you get a Forex broker that allows you to trade crypto. There's a few out there, a KOT Forex. My brain just went blank. But that's a really good one for you to use. I don't even know if Traders Way allows you to do it anymore, but there's a few out there that allow you to trade cryptocurrency pairs. Just look it up. You can research them. And then you're able to catch these moves. Like when XRP, took that hit, a lot of us entered on the sale and we made money on the way down. And so I've had people that, started accounts with a couple $100s and were able to capitalize this weekend on the big moves up on buys, but also on the sales coming back down. So it's a lot of ways for you to get in here and really trade and capitalize on the moves that are happening. Yeah.
And some people are like, hey, I try to join Binance and they won't let me. This is true, right? If you're a new trader to the space, there are some regulations, and Binance doesn't always let Americans join the platform. And so some people are saying, Troy, well, let's get a VPN. And so for those who are not familiar with a VPN is a virtual private network. And so what that does is it allows you to appear someplace that you're not. And so if I'm in New York City and I want to trade on Binance, but I know that Americans aren't allowed to join, I'll get a VPN, right? A virtual private network. And it'll ask me where I want to have my location ping from. And so your location can ping from anywhere. You could say that I'm in Rio de Janeiro and be sitting in your house. And now when the network sees that you're in Rio de Janeiro, you're no longer on a United States network. Now you can join Binance. And so there's so many different ways to get around it. That's why I said it's a lot in this space. So we're trying to go as slow as possible. We're not telling anybody to rush. And as far as platforms, I know Binance is probably the biggest one internationally, but as far as ratings, eToro, I'm not even I actually did some research on eToro. And it's very similar to some of the brokerages that we use here in the stock market. So they offer demo account training, and they allow you to paper trade, which I had never seen in this space. So that's something that's new. And they have like 15 currencies. So I know a lot of the platforms don't have all the currencies, which is why we try to go to Binance, which has so many, if not most of them, where like as a Coinbase, you might only get a selection of 12, or on Robinhood, you might get like 12. So eToro is a good site for that. Coinbase, obviously, these are the top 5 platforms. CoinMama, Gemini, which is the Winklevoss twins, who are famous for Facebook. And now that they've made millions in Facebook, and they're making probably billions in the crypto space. And then Qcoin, you remember Qcoin?
Yeah.
Qcoin is another one. So those are like the top 5 platforms, but the most familiar ones obviously are Coinbase. But eToro is a nice one because you can do paper trading, and you don't have to put your money in right away and get familiar with the space before you do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only thing, Robinhood, they have it. The only thing I don't like about it is you don't really, what I noticed, I bought some Bitcoin in there, but you don't really own it because you can't send it anywhere. You can either only buy or sell it. So that's what's been interesting to me. I don't know if you guys even noticed that, but I most of the wallets, you buy it and you have an address you can send it to. In Robinhood, it doesn't seem like it allows you to do that. I could be missing something, but when I looked, you could either only buy or sell, which kind of took away some of the functionality of the purpose of Bitcoin.
I want to ask
So
you about, so one of the things that, I pay attention to everything. And, we talk about the stock market a lot, and the stock market is playing a major part in legitimizing Bitcoin. One of the reasons I think why Bitcoin is going up. So even when you see Coinbase going public, that's an encouraging sign. Like they're here to stay. They're not, it's not just going to go away. When you see all of these companies pouring millions and billions of dollars into a Square, Tesla 1.5 billion into Bitcoin, but now you can actually, there's a Bitcoin GBTC, which actually trades on the stock market. And this is something that's interesting. So can you talk about that? Because some people still are a little nervous about this wallet, the Nano Ledger, Coinbase.
Let's go back to the stocks.
So you can actually still get exposure to Bitcoin on the stock market. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the place I traded a lot. You can open up an E-Trade account, a Mirror Trade account, and there's a fund. It's called GBTC. It's the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and it's really cool because a few years ago you had to be like a what do you call that? Where your net worth has your
accredited investor.
You had to be an accredited investor to even take part in it. So it wasn't even really for people that made less than $250,000 a year and had assets, things of that nature. And so now they've opened it up, and so now you can take part into Bitcoin because it follows it really closely how it moves. So Bitcoin, let's say it's at 49,000. The GBTC is probably going to be somewhere around $46 to $49, somewhere near. So it's going to move as the market moves, and it's been I believe it's even split a few times. That's why it's even so inexpensive, because it used to be more than that. And so now that's another way that you can get into the market. And so what I do is I like however much I have a GBTC, I just divide it by how much Bitcoin is now, and it tells me how many coins that would be equivalent to. And then there you don't have to really worry about somebody stealing your wallet and somebody taking your Bitcoin. They have another fund that follows Ethereum. I'm not really a fan of it yet. It's okay, ETHE, but it doesn't follow it quite as good as GBTC follows it. But what I do believe is Grayscale. They're one of the best ones doing it now. But I think there's going to be other competitors that start entering the marketplace that give us really good moves in the market based on what's happening. So that's a great place to do it. You open an account, you fund it. How you buy it though is different as well. You can't just do like a market, like a buy, like just buy at the market price. When you buy it, you have to place a limit order. And so whenever you guys go in there and actually do it, you'll go to buy GBTC, and then it's going to say like place order type, and then you got a few of them, and then just go to limit, and then to limit is going to give you a price. And I believe it's the bid price, asking price, whatever numbers.
Yeah, as Justin goes out, we'll cover. I think it's the Wi-Fi, because that happened to us before. It's the Wi-Fi is a little shaky probably where he's at, so it cuts in and out. But if anybody's, like I said, you watch Market Mondays, about index funds, and that's how I kind of look at the GBTC, where it tracks Bitcoin, like the S&P 500 tracks the 500 companies in the in the S&P, and it just mirrors that. So like you said, for some people that are still nervous, or don't feel 100% comfortable with the security and no regulations and stuff like that cryptocurrency has, you can have exposure in something that tracks Bitcoin on the stock market. If you're familiar with the stock market, if you already have a brokerage account, and as you get more comfortable with that, then you can transition over to actually buying physical Bitcoin if you're interested in it.
Can we give him something else? Can I give him something else?
Yeah.
All right. So I know obviously we love indexes, but we love even more than indexes are ETFs. And so I looked at ETFs because I was like, this blockchain thing is moving and it's not going anywhere. We say that almost every week. And so I did my research and I found this ETF, BLOK, And so it is an ETF that has a bunch of companies that are using blockchain technology. MicroStrategy, which is, you said there's a bunch of companies that are buying into the space. So MicroStrategy is obviously the number one holding. Riot, which I actually had a conversation, me and Wall Street Trapper were talking about Riot, and he was trying to get into Riot. And I was like, Trap, there's this ETF that has Riot inside of it. And so again, BLOK, I see people are typing it in. Yeah, it's an ETF that tracks, follows the blockchain. And so that's another way to get into the space without having to go to Coinbase or actually expose yourself into a singular position in the cryptocurrency space. So yeah, it's right now it's at $54. It's fairly new. If you look inside the holdings, GBTC is inside of there as well. Square is inside there as well. PayPal's inside there as well. And so this is just another option for you. Justin's like, wait, Troy, you ain't telling me about this.
You definitely did. I'm like, okay.
I'm gonna call you tomorrow.
It's good. It's good. We can
I was
talk
gonna be on
about
the next call. That was the next call. But yeah, it's something to definitely look into. But it's another way to get into the space without, again, exposing yourself to a singular position.
Yeah. So you back on. So I want to go to some questions, but before that, what's your thoughts on XRP? XRP had a lot of bad news about a month and a half, 2 months ago. So Ripple, if anybody's not familiar, XRP is the coin. So what's your thoughts on XRP?
You know, my thoughts are I think they're gonna fix it. You know, whether they settle with the government. I think because XRP and Ripple, they've got too many people that used to work even with the entity that's suing them now. I think it'll work out with them. I'm still holding them, and you can still buy it on some exchanges. You just can't buy it like on Coinbase, primarily because they're trying to go public on the New York Stock Exchange. A lot of people have kind of let them go. But the reason I feel that it will get worked out is because crypto has to get worked out in America. And so, all of the coins are really watching. Everybody's really watching what's happening with this case, because this is really going to set the foundation for how crypto is established and how it's handled, and a lot of the regulations that come along with it in America. So I think it'll be fine. As soon as it's solved, I believe it'll continue to go because it was, when Bitcoin hit its high at 19,000 some changes.
So I'm gonna give my personal holdings. You back on, Just? I'm gonna give my personal holdings, and I want Just to give his opinion on it. This is my portfolio, my crypto portfolio, and this is from top to bottom: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, Litecoin, Stellar, Tron, and Neo.
That's how he was listening to me.
I still hold it.
I like it. I like it, bro. I like it.
How you feel about that?
I like it. I like all of them. XRP is good. Cardano has been really good. One of my buddies, Riyadh, he had put me onto that. That one's really good. Polkadot, that
serious.
It's real serious. Chainlink has been really good. XLM was a really good deal, man. It had went down last year to like 3 cents is low, and it's almost caught XRP. It's right there. They're like 10 cents apart, I think. So I think all of those are good holdings for the long term, and they're going to continue to grow over time. And so I would say, yeah, bro, just continue to fund it, and continue to grow it. I think that's another thing I think a lot of people need to understand is with a lot of this stuff, how we've been able to get a lot is it's not like we just put a lot into the market in one day. Typically that's not what people do. It's just over time, you're continuing to buy it. And so, you just figure out how much you want to invest. And I wouldn't suggest like your whole portfolio be crypto because it's very volatile. And so if you can't take the swings that you're going to get with it, it can be challenging. But yeah, I love those, bro. My personal philosophy is 50% of my portfolio, I want it to be in Bitcoin. And then the other 50%, I diversify between altcoins. And then if some of those make profit, I'll move it into Bitcoin because that's brand A. So that's always going to be around, it's going to be safe, from a stored value standpoint, it's going to be really good. But then now I'm not hanging out the ledge with 100% of my crypto, on some of these altcoins, because as quickly as they go up, they can go down. And so, that's, like we saw with Ripple, it had hit, 90 cents. And then, within a couple of weeks after that, it dropped down to 20 cents. And then now it's back up into the 50s. And so, I love those. I love those.
We were there once upon a time when Ripple was $3.24.
Yeah.
Oh man, did you buy or you wrote it up?
I wrote it up.
We rode the XRP train to the moon.
I got my average price of Bitcoin that I purchased is at 7,000. So I got XRP when it was 30 cents. And we wrote it up to $3 and some change.
Yeah, we also did some privacy coins too.
We wrote it all the way back down.
We're loyal. We're loyal.
Hey, they said it was gonna keep going. It was a pullback. Sometimes you don't know. You know, what level of a Fibonacci would that have been? Like an 81% Fibonacci level. So it's poised to, hey, whenever it goes up, it's going to continue, it's going to go whenever that happens. But I, you know, like I said, man, I think a lot of this stuff is going to continue to fill out and grow. And I think what we got to do is really start paying attention, you know, as just regular people, just start paying attention to some of the bigger moves. Because like yesterday, when everybody was freaking out, these companies are going in the market and buying, you know, and it's like, you can't be, you know, clamming up when this stuff happens in the market. Cause I saw, it was funny. Somebody posted the other day, oh, I bet people aren't going to post their portfolios today. I'm like, yeah, of course. Cause if you want to have big days, you got to be able to take the losses too. I've had days where it's like me, like, whew, you got to check your heart, you know, like, man, this is all right. This is okay. But man, if you can start understanding like, okay, cool, it's pulling back, you know, Bitcoin. I know if you feel really confident about the coin that you're investing into or the token or whatever, and you believe it has some good value on those pullbacks, that's when I get back in and continue to accumulate more so I can have it for the long term. So, you know, because I have friends that bought it, you know, last year, but they didn't continue to buy. And that's what I was saying is like, just make sure as you're getting into crypto, don't just buy it one time. Just, you know, like Rashad just said, you said your average cost is 7,000. So that means you bought some low and then you also bought some high, but your average, you know, cost is, you know, 7,000 a coin, which is great based on where it's at. You know,
that's true. That's very true. Just we'd be remiss if we didn't ask about Dogecoin. I mean, it was a joke, and then the legendary Dogecoin, and it was like everybody had it in their stories, and like, listen, I'm just telling you, don't say I didn't tell you to get it. It's about to go to the moon.
Doge.
And I'm like, God, well, we've been here before, y'all. Can you talk about that?
You know, for me, I didn't really get into it like that. I put a couple $100 in it just because it was. I mean, if somebody gonna keep talking about it, I'll ride it a little bit, but I don't see there's. When I look at what I said, you know, when it comes to digital currency as a whole, I like to see like what utility does it serve, what problem does it solve, and if it doesn't solve a problem, I don't personally care who's talking about it. It's got to do something. Otherwise, I'm at a high risk because I'm buying because somebody said buy, but I have no idea when to get out because I didn't look at the coin. It didn't have any value really at this point. I'm not saying that it can't in the future, but as of today, for me personally, I just don't see it, you know, but it's kind of like GameStop, you know, like fundamentally their business is a little different. Like it doesn't look like it's going to be good, but then it goes up, you know, freaking 100% today. So, you know, the market has been interesting. But for me personally, I didn't get into it. A lot of my friends didn't get into it as well. We've been in the space for a while. But you know, hey, for people that make money on it, I would say, listen, get it while you can. But for me personally, I looked at it just because, you know, everybody was talking about it, but man, I just got to stay away because it doesn't serve a purpose. I mean, you tell me something starts as a joke and they haven't changed it being a joke, I can't invest a lot of money into it.
No, that's a fact. We're gonna open it up to questions, but before that, I want to just say, like, you know, I believe in Ethereum. I'm very bullish on Ethereum. I just actually purchased some Ethereum a while back. And Bitcoin, I'm real bullish on Bitcoin, but still a majority of my investments are in the stock market. I would say probably 10% of my portfolio is in crypto. So I'm not, you know, I believe in cryptocurrency. I'm a crypto enthusiast, but I'm not just, you know, doing something, just jumping full fledged. So I say that to say, invest whatever you feel, but that's what my personal is 10%. And I feel like what Gary Vee said when he talked to us about NFTs, and he said, do 100 hours of research. Do 100 hours of research. No matter how much information you get in an hour or 2 hours, you got to do 100 hours of research. Never invest in anything that you don't fully understand. And there's a lot of resources, but just understand it. Like you said, don't just invest in something because Elon Musk tweets it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not really an investment strategy. You can make money, but you can get lucky and make money. There's a difference between making money, being lucky, and making money because you actually are investing in sound fundamentals. So it's no different from the stock market as far as that is concerned. Just, you know, be careful, know what you're investing in, and never look at any investment as like a get rich quick scenario, because that's when you lose money, when you just do things out of emotion. That's like gambling. Yeah. So that's just a caution. You know, we just have to be responsible. We have a platform, which is a great big platform. We're thankful for that. But, you know, we just have to be responsible and just, you know, we don't want to lead people to the slaughterhouse. You just want to provide information, but you got to provide information responsibly. And that's one of the good things with the EYL University. So after, like, this is ongoing, and the education is not just like one person coming and teaching you. The education is you teaching yourself. So now we have infinity groups inside of EYL University, and I believe there's a crypto group that's starting where people are gonna.
Oh, the clubs, yeah.
It's gonna be clubs inside of EYL University. So now it's a stock club, it's a crypto club, it's a real estate club,
EYL Junior Club.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
So so the crypto club are crypto enthusiasts inside of the community that's going to get together, and they're going to learn, and they're going to teach each other, and that's really the best way about it. Is like, yeah, experts and YouTube and videos are good, but the best way is peer-to-peer. And Earn Your Leisure is a perfect example of that. Like, we literally have taught ourselves the vast majority of the stuff that we learned, and there's power in numbers. This is why our group chat, I forgot to mention that too. That's also, we do once a month, we do group chat calls for EYL University. The group chat is extremely powerful because it's like the power of 5 minds is way more powerful than 1 mind. So if you might know something I don't know, I might know something that you don't know, he might know something that neither one of us knows. So if we can come together and actually build on that, your learning curve grows
exponentially.
Yes. And that's something that's extremely important. So we just want to encourage people that before we go to the question and answers, education is not stopped at one place. It's continuous, and it's always good to mastermind and have groups. There's power in numbers. So we're going to go to questions. So if anybody that just joined, once again, this is an EYL University class open to the public. The last Wednesday of every month, we do these classes. So we do these classes every single Wednesday at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. But the last Wednesday of the month is open to the public. And it's just like an insight to EYL University. And we do these classes on every topic that you can think of: entrepreneurship, real estate, how to read stock charts, all kinds of life insurance, disability insurance. And it's every Wednesday, and it's archived. So if you miss it, you can just go on the website and check it out. So this is for people that, want more interactive. It's a community. We have over 5,000 people on Facebook. We do group chat calls where we go over our personal portfolios. I do financial planning calls. MG the Mortgage Guy's Home Buyer's Blueprint is in there with over 14 hours of real estate, everything you need to know about how to buy a home, real estate. And then we have a movie club, we have a book club, and we have a Facebook private group. So it's not an investment club, it's not a stock club, it's a all-around finance institution, which is geared towards people that want to build a community, learn, and just want that extra push outside of all of the free information that we give on the podcast and YouTube and Instagram every single day. So EYL, like I said, we open it up to the public. You can see. And at the end of this, we do question and answers. So that's what's different too. It's like, it's a real class where we talk, and then we get, questions and answers, and then it's engagement. And we do it every single week. So if you're interested, I'm gonna put the link in. And all of that's $500 for the whole entire year. So you can go to EYLUniversity.com right now if you're interested. We do have to raise the price. As I said, we are proud that we have 10 employees now, 2 on the EYL University side. Shout out to Janet. Janet was making a nice salary at Fidelity, and we took over. Black woman from Rhode Island. We took over. She works at EYL University. We gave her a 401k package. We gave her benefits, health insurance, and she's on. And we beat Fidelity's what they was paying us. So these are things that we gotta start talking about too.
Superstar.
Yeah,
Dan's a whole superstar.
That to me, that's one of the proudest moments. Is like Fidelity's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. And here we are 2 years in, and we took one of their brightest stars. And it's not like she's doing us a favor. Like we matched what she was getting, kept the 401k, all of that. So we handling real business. This is a real institution. It's not like, something that we just put together. We're extremely proud of it. And we think EYL University, we know EYL University is going to be the biggest, just like Earn Your Leisure is the biggest podcast. EYL University is going to be the biggest online learning institution, bigger than the University of Phoenix, anything that you can think of. And for a penny of the price.
I mean, check out track record. Every time we say we're the biggest, we're the biggest.
It's all about, that's what we're doing. We're growing. Group economics, giving people opportunities. So
yeah.
If you're interested, EYLUniversity.com. I'll put the link in. And the price is going to go up on Friday, but we're not just raising the price for no reason. It's already $500. But like I said, as we grow, we have overhead.
Yeah.
And but I mean, it's $500 for the whole entire year. Like, wait, that's not even a junior college. You can't even go to junior college for that. So
and wait, just really quickly, our newest hire is a special one, and we're gonna have to document it. It's a special hire, personally for me and Rashad as well. And when we write the story, when y'all see the story about it, it'll make a perfect sense. But I see some people are asking about NFTs and where to buy them, and so I'm gonna give you 2 sites because they were passed on to me, so I'm gonna pass it on to y'all. Rarible.com, Rarible.com. That is RARIBLE.com. That is one place, and then Nifty Getaway, NIFTYGATEWAY.com. Janet, I will send it to you, and then I guess you can put it in the chat for us. So those are 2 places that you can look and explore the world of NFTs.
yes. So yes, let's get some questions if we can. Yeah,
let's do it.
I put it in the YouTube chat if anybody's interested. But yes, let's get some questions for some earners. And
while we're getting the questions, bro, I just want to say, like you said, like, man, y'all make sure you invest into yourself. That's like, we're talking about crypto and stocks and all that stuff, but the best investment you can ever make is into yourself. So when they're talking about like $500, y'all, you only need a little bit of education to get that $500 back and more. Like you get on one conversation with these gentlemen, you can already tell they're smart, they're intelligent. And if what I always think about is if you're getting all this knowledge and information for free, imagine what you get for when you pay for it, right? And when you're really a part of the community, because what happens is anybody that's working with somebody or teaching somebody is when they see you invest into you, they want to put more into you. And so, you guys are just in for something special. So I'm not on the platform like that, but I just want to say it because it's so important, bro, that you have to invest into yourself as much as you want to invest into Bitcoin and ETH and all this other stuff. You got to get that knowledge yourself so you can learn how to do this and catch these moves into the market, because it's not going to happen. I think a lot of people, they're looking for somebody to just tell them, hey, do this, go make some money. But no, you got to put in the time, energy, effort to learn it. But man, once you learn it, you become free.
That's
1,000%.
Appreciate that, brother.
All right, let's go to our questions. Noah, you've been unmuted. Unmute yourself. What's up?
What's up? Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, we hear you.
What's going on, brother?
In regards to the hardware crypto wallets, I know you guys talk about Ledger. What's your opinions on the Trezor one?
I haven't seen the Trezor one, bro, to be honest with you. Once I got this one and it worked for me, I just stuck with it. Like, I knew how to use it.
Yeah, he went out again. The Wi-Fi is crazy. The Nano Ledger, that's the one that we got introduced to, and that's the one that we used. And I believe that's the standard. Yeah. So I never try to go lower than standard. And I think the Nano Ledger has been the standard for years now. So
yeah, it got too confusing because a lot of these coins have their own individual wallets. And so to try to remember the passwords for all of them, it was just too much. So like Ethereum has its own wallet. Neo would have its own wallet. Bitcoin has its own wallet. Bitcoin Cash may have its own wallet. Instead of having 7 different websites, the Nano Ledger just became the more simplified version to keep them all together in one simple place. The problem is a lot of people, it's just like a USB, right? If I tell you to find a USB that you had 3 years ago, it'd be tough for you to find it. And so a lot of people lose their USBs. And so I would recommend not to treat the Nano Ledger like a normal USB. I would get a safe for it.
Safe deposit
Get
box.
a safe deposit box for it, because we're talking about millions. Well, thousands at first, but then hopefully millions of dollars that could potentially be lost if you lose that thing. And you don't want to be that guy who lost 68 million.
No. Safe deposit box.
Yeah. Safe.
Thank you.
Keep the numbers, keep the passcodes on it, keep that stuff safe, because all of that is necessary if anything happens. So yeah, definitely.
Hey, Just, how many questions did you have to answer on that one? I know when we did it was like a series of 20 questions that we had to answer to even unlock it. Yeah. Was it the same for you?
Yeah, same thing. Yep.
Same thing. Okay.
Yeah,
answer all these questions. I can hear y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Let's go to
it was like 20 something questions, and you got all these passcodes, and I got them in different places. So yeah, you got to go through a lot for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's see who we got. Alistair, unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
Crypto Club.
Crypto Club, man. Shout out to everybody that joined the last meeting. We had a deep dive on DeFi And, people got a lot of good information out of it. So I'm glad. And we got the next one coming up March 5th, where we're going to be talking about NFTs. We're going to do a deep dive on that one. But
hold on, wait, let's go into that. So you're the leader. I didn't even know that. You're the leader of the crypto club for EY University?
Yeah. I'm one of the leaders along with Daniel and Mika. So we put on the last event. So we got another one coming up.
March 5th.
March 5th.
That's right.
Dope. So what's the next one on?
Next one is going to be on NFT. So we're going to dive deep into the industry itself. And we're going to look at some of the platforms. We're going to look at Rarible, OpenSea, NBA Top Shot. We're also going to talk about how artists are making money with NFTs right now. And we're also going to walk through the process of how to create an NFT. So, check into that.
That's gonna be strong.
That's dope.
I'm there. What time?
I didn't even know that. That's crazy. We was talking about the Infinity groups, and he's the head of the actual Infinity group. And a university is judged by the people that go there. Like, it's not really judged by the professors. It's judged, like, when you look at Harvard, you look at the people that have went to Harvard. Mm-hmm. You look at Howard University, you look at the people that have went to Howard University. So a university is only as good as the students. So to see this is extremely encouraging, where it's like we have a structured program, but the actual people inside of the university going above and beyond and creating a community within a community. That's dope, brother. But what's your question, bro?
Yeah, for sure. So I have a question because I'm coming more from the tech side of it. So when I look at a cryptocurrency, I like to look at the code, the white paper, and I'm learning more about the trading side of it. So I just wanted to ask, when you're doing trades, do you look at some of the on-chain metrics in like when you do your trades for like some of these cryptos, or is it just the regular technical analysis of the charts?
Yeah, I look at the technical analysis of the charts. A lot of the times, at the beginning, it was very hard because it wasn't a lot of data. Like, it was just everything was up. But now that a lot of these coins have had ups and some pullbacks, Bitcoin is a little bit different now because it's really high. So you gotta get it's not a lot of moves. But I look at the analysis just like I do it in regular foreign exchange as of now, just looking at the pullbacks in the market and seeing where price is being respected at certain points with it. So yeah, I look at that, bro. And then, on the Forex side, when I do trade it, when it breaks those levels.
Every time you're about to spit a bar, they take them out.
We're gonna go back. You said talk about a couple of things that you said. I know you said Fibonacci. What was a few technical analysis that you use, even for the Forex side as well? Troy, what's some of your technical analysis that you use?
I'm still using, so I use the moving averages. Y'all know I'm big on that. Obviously, I use the Bollinger Bands, and it's interesting because when we were doing the charts with Francis 2 weeks ago, he actually pulled Bitcoin up, and we got to see it,
and Ethereum,
and we got to see it, and it's kind of funny because we were looking at it like, wait, this might be a good buy time. So the moving averages is still something that we do. I'm studying candles right now. I'm actually getting tutored right now from Francis, and I'm learning from Ian as well. So like every day, like when I tell you I'll do your homework, I'm doing my homework too because I'm trying to learn. So I used to just do the line graph, and now I'm like doing the hollow candles and I'm doing the full candles, and so I'm learning it. And now it applies. Like I said, once you learn one medium, it just shifts to the next. And so now I can look at a Bitcoin. I can go to CoinMarketCap and look at the chart and say, all right, this might be a good time to get in. Here, there's a pullback on the way. What's the moving averages? So yeah, that's what I said. Once you study one medium, it always it's transferable to the next one.
The Bollinger Bands is extremely. If you don't learn anything else from anything that we ever do, you might want to look into learning Bollinger Bands, because that's something that's extremely useful, not just in stocks, but really anything. So yeah, the Bollinger Bands is extremely important.
Yeah, and then I as my last thing, and it's funny that they were saying this too, I use my RSI. Right, so I just want to see the relative strength of the position that I'm about to get into, whether it's being overbought or oversold. And then after that, after I've done all my research, I'll say, all right, I'll make a decision.
Yeah, they said the link. I fixed the link. I pinned the link. It's fixed on that. Josh, you back?
Yeah, I think I'm back, man. I just put it on my Wi-Fi.
It's your Wi-Fi. It happened to us. It happened to us before.
We've been through it all.
Yeah, so yeah, it's all good.
And I just moved too, so I'm on the 4th level. So I think I got to get like one of those.
Yeah, was that a slight stunt? Yeah, that was the 4th level.
It's true, bro. It is. It's on the 4th level. So I got to get like a Wi-Fi extender or something up here.
I mean, I only live in a ranch style home.
Yeah,
it's only one level.
It's all good.
I'll show y'all, man.
It's all good, man. whenever you go out, we got you. We got your back, bro. But yeah, that's happened to us before with the Wi-Fi. But you know, it's a live show, so issues happen. But it's all good, man. We're gonna get the information out regardless.
Alistair, appreciate you. Everybody's asking what time on the 5th?
March 5th at 8 p.m.
March 5th at 8 p.m. Appreciate that.
That's gonna be a big one. All right, appreciate you.
I'm interested in how, man. Like I said, I've been up on this stuff. My buddy Rob, who put me onto it. I actually bought some stuff last night, just kind of playing around. And that's why I think y'all got to study and get into it. I actually lost some money on one of the things I was buying because I didn't know about the fees, right? So like it was like the cost of one of the NFTs that I was, one of the things I was buying, but the fees was more, it was almost like the whole cost of what I was buying. So I'm like, all right, good. I'm glad I only did like a couple $100s with it. So that's why it's really important to study this stuff, get into it. Like you said, that 100 hours, really studying. And then jumping in and getting into it. So
yeah, those gas fees. I see somebody put in the chat those gas fees, and so it determines how long it takes for the transaction to happen. So we were in the space when you bought Bitcoin, you sent money, and 2 hours later you're wondering, did it go through? Did it go through? Did it go through? Like 4 hours later, did it go through? Did it go through? But that's how and that was one of the things when I was looking into Bitcoin. I'm like, this is a great, and it's the number one coin. It'll probably always stay that way. But from a functionality standpoint, there's going to be something that's going to be better because everybody gets to see the predecessor and now say, I'm going to improve on it. And so then that's where you come up with a Monero. It's like, all right, hey, they don't have the best privacy. Let's create this coin. Or their transaction speed is very slow. Let's find a way to improve it. And so that comes with being the leader in the space. Yeah. People get to see the mistakes and say, I'm going to improve on it.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's really why I like Ripple, man, because it's like, man, the fees are really small, money's sent really quick. So, you know, I'm hoping they get it figured out because what it serves and it's really brilliant what they put together. So hopefully they get it figured out.
I'm gonna go to that class on March 5th because I want to learn about NFTs myself. So I'm gonna be a student in there.
All right, I'm gonna try this one. Is that Martelli? Martelli, you been unmuted. Unmute yourself. If I said it wrong, I apologize in advance. Oh, Tia, what's up? You've been unmuted.
How are you?
I am great. I had you unmuted first, but okay, let's go there.
What's going on?
Tia,
First of all, congratulations, you guys. You so deserve it. I love seeing the #1 spot. It's just so well deserved.
Everybody's excited over there. I love it.
Yes. So my question's real quick. Back in 2017, pardon my little toddler, there was a thing about mining Bitcoin. It was a big deal, getting all this equipment and things of that nature. Is that still profitable? Does it even work? And have you ever tried it? That's my question.
All good questions. Yeah. Justin, you want to start?
Yeah, all good questions. So mining is cool because, you know, it was a way for you to get coin without actually spending money for it. Like you just get the equipment and, you know, then they had things that you could buy to have somebody mine it for you. The thing is, like, it's really expensive, at this point. And the electricity needed to run it is like the fees and stuff associated. So is it still a thing? Yes, definitely still a thing. I think for me personally, I'm kind of more interested into what we were talking about before, where you're getting staking. Staking is so much easier because I just got to find a coin that has a good percentage rate on staking, let it sit there, and I just get, it's really the same concept except for I'm not having to pay all of these extra fees and stuff like that. So you find a coin that has good staking or a wallet that allows you to stake that coin in there, and then you can still earn that particular coin, right? And then a lot of these wallets, you can actually still convert it to other currency. So in my opinion, that would probably be a better alternative nowadays versus just mining.
Yeah, so we never tried to mine the coin, although we're very familiar with it because of what just said, the amount of electricity that it would take. You could actually give electricity to a small town. Yeah.
We actually met somebody a few weeks ago that has a mining facility.
Yeah. And that was another part. It takes certain climates for you to even do it. And so not only do you have to buy the computers to mine it, but you also have to have cooling conditions, like huge air conditioners to keep the facility cool because the computers have to stay at a certain temperature. And so we saw a lot of people creating mines in northern China where it's cold, Canada. So some of these places were having those type of situations because the climate permitted for them to have those type of facilities. But we did meet somebody, and he said that he's doing it in the South.
Yeah,
and that was it was.
He's doing it in the
So
South,
check why.
but he's doing because the electricity is cheaper, and the land is cheaper. So he has a cooling system.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's totally interesting. That's really interesting. I'm surprised they haven't came up with a cloud way of doing it yet. Just like, is that the whole reason why we got rid of servers?
I don't know if
it's
they make it super easy though. I don't think they're trying to make it where everybody can just get it for free.
Of course not. No, but if they make that like a cloud, wow.
Yeah. And the thing about mining the coins is that when we didn't get into it, but the circulating supply, Bitcoin won't exist. I think is it 2043. I think that's the last about the estimated time that the last coin will be mined. So people are trying to mine it so they can have a coins, because after that time they won't exist and they won't be produced anymore.
They won't exist as far as new ones.
There won't be any new ones circulating. So when you see circulating coins, if it says 18 million and you check how many have been circulated already or made already, then you know how much time you have until it's a finite amount of coins that can be created.
Yeah, it's not unlimited resource.
Yeah.
So it's another interesting thing.
Which makes it more valuable. Exactly. All right. I think I had.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. Is it Martelli? I hope I got it right. Martelli, you are unmuted. Unmute yourself. What's going on?
Yeah, what's good, fam?
Everything's good. Did I get it right?
Bless. You know, Brooklyn always up in here. I always got show love for my Brooklyn people.
Brooklyn, we did it.
Oh, Brooklyn.
We did
it. Yes, sir. My man
got behind us, right?
He remembers I took my shot at Janet right quick.
Oh yeah, during my financial planning class.
There you go, Daddy. I'm trying to be a regular on the show and whatnot. But right quick, I know you guys got a lot of people who have questions. So I just want to ask you, you mentioned earlier how what you're really looking at is what problem those coins are solving. What do you mean? What kind of problems are we talking about? Like, how's a coin solving any problem? You know what I mean, that you're referring to before you pick which one you're going to deal with.
Yeah, or like what utility it serves. Like, so for instance, like XRPs are one that I've been like looking at for a while, right? And so it was the ability to be able to send money internationally. So you I don't know if you remember back in the day, like you would go to like Western Union, MoneyGram to send money, overseas, right? And the fees were really expensive to do that, like to be able to send money overseas to the people. And they were like, okay, well now we've got something on the blockchain that allows us to be able to send these fees and save companies money on processing fees, right? But also sending money, like you can send, I forget, it was somebody that sent like a few $1 million across the country or across the world in a matter of like 1 point something seconds. So it allowed, and I'm like, okay, man, for me, that makes sense because companies are always processing money. They're trying to find ways to save money on those fees. And so if they can get some of those fees back, and then the companies that's offering it, it allows that makes more sense to me and how they've been built out than a company that's just a meme coin. And I'm not making fun of that because that's literally what it was. But so I'm looking at like, all right, what does this actually do? You look at Ethereum and it's not just the Ethereum, but now you have other projects that are being built on top of it. It's like, okay, well, man, that's definitely a good coin. But now you look at one of them like Cardano that's growing pretty good. That's on top of it. So you start looking at what are all of these things doing?
Yeah, and that's something that they always cut them out the best part. The use case, like what's the use case for it? And like you said, the XRP is a perfect example of that, and that's why a lot of the financial institutions had backed XRP because it solves a problem. Any business, you have to solve a problem, and transferring money is still to this day really a problem. It still hasn't really been fully solved. The transfer, we talked about it before, the quickest way to get $1 million from New York to London is to get on a plane with it. And that's kind of crazy if you really think about it in 2021. So, with the blockchain, and you're able to move this in a matter of seconds, and XRP is the coin of choice when it comes to the financial world. It was a lot of people, had problems with that because they felt like, it sold out and it wasn't a real cryptocurrency because it was centralized. It wasn't decentralized, but that's another situation altogether. But it solves a problem. Long story short, it solves a problem. So that's what he was saying. Like there's some coins where it's just they don't solve any problem at all. It's just like you just make a coin. Like I could just make, the shoddy coin and just have a coin, but it's like, what's the point of it? What is it being used for?
Yeah.
It has no use case.
Yeah.
So
there's another coin too that we were looking at the time. And when you said what's the purpose of it, there was this coin called Medicoin. And the purpose of it was to keep all medical transactions on a blockchain. So imagine that if you went to a hospital in New York City and you had to been traveling and something happened to you and you were in another country, right? How long would it take for them to get your medical records to you to find out what you need and what they can't use? Whereas you had a blockchain where that record was always kept, it would be there instantaneously. So those are we're trying to talk about for use cases. Like that has a use. You understand what I'm saying? As opposed to somebody looking at a cartoon wolf.
I saw when Mark Cuban was on with you guys, he stated that he sees Ethereum as like the leader going forward. Do you think that at any point it could actually take over Bitcoin slot?
Can it take over?
You talking about like price point? I don't know if anybody, because I don't know, who knows, but Bitcoin is more of like a place where people store Bitcoin is not something a lot of people really use. It's like, I want to put it's an alternative for our generation to like gold. Like I'm not looking today, hey, where can I buy some gold? Although it's not a bad thing to buy, right? I've got some jewelry and stuff like that, but it's more of like, it's where people store their money now. Ethereum, I do believe like they're saying that it could go to 10,000, but just the same way that, JP Morgan and Chase is saying that Bitcoin can go to 130,000. Like we don't, how do we know? I do believe that it definitely is a solid investment now because of so many things that are being built on top of it that are now becoming big things as well. And so because like what's happening with NFTs and stuff like this and some of the other things that are being built on top of it, they need Ethereum to work. And so if they need Ethereum to work, that you got to invest into the foundation of it. Well, now everything that's else on top of it, that's it's kind of like you can double dip. So I definitely think that's if I was new to crypto and I'm getting into it, that would be when I would really look into Ethereum because of what's going to be happening. And it's still really a good price. It's not too bad right now. $1,600, $2,000. I think it broke an all-time high over the weekend as well, and it pulled back. So this is a great time to get back into it.
And
congratulations, Troy. Congratulations, Rashad. For real, you guys are doing big things. Sky's the limit. Much love, fellas.
Appreciate you. That's one of the reasons why I really like Ethereum. That's kind of like one of my thesis of investing, period. I like to look at something where if it falls apart, the whole space is in trouble. So I look at like Apple. If Apple falls apart overnight, a lot of things are in trouble. The whole tech space is in trouble.
Look, I'm in trouble if they fall apart.
So I feel like Ethereum's in the same. Like if Ethereum falls apart, even more so than Bitcoin psychologically, would have a major. Obviously, it would cripple the crypto space. But Ethereum, from a use standpoint, there's hundreds of coins, probably even maybe 1,000 coins that actually run on Ethereum's platform. So if Ethereum falls apart, that's going to cripple the crypto space. So I look at it like, all right, nothing is ever guaranteed, but we try to mitigate as much risk as possible. And having something that is so vital to the industry, in my opinion, obviously, everybody has their own opinion, but in my opinion, it makes it a lot more comfortable for me to invest in, because I'm not just investing in Ethereum, I'm investing in the whole platform that Ethereum has under their, umbrella. So that's something to think about when you're looking at crypto.
And we said this about a month ago when I think Bitcoin was headed towards 30,000. I was like, hey, look, that's great, but based on a percentage, Ethereum is actually moving at a higher rate. And so while we were watching it, Bitcoin hit 20,000, hit 30,000. Ethereum is moving right along with it. And like you said, it's a more affordable price, and its usage obviously is undeniable. Like we said, things are built on top of it. That's why the platform, I think, is sustainable. I don't know if it'll ever pass Bitcoin just because of the dominance of Bitcoin. It's like, was it 62% of the space?
Yeah. We haven't had companies start investing billions of dollars into Ethereum yet, but if that day comes, that'll be great as well.
That's something to think about too, as far as the Bitcoin dominance, 62% of the market cap. So once again, that would be like if Tesla was 62% of the stock exchange, like of NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange. Like if one company made up 62% of the entire stock market, just think about that. That's kind of crazy. So that, also to going back to Bitcoin, that gives, me a lot of confidence in Bitcoin. Not only am I confident about Bitcoin because you see all this institutional money piling in, and you see it just getting, reinforced daily. But being that it has so much dominance in the space, it's like it's 62% of cryptocurrency is in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I mean, if Bitcoin falls, everything falls.
Yeah. So somebody just asked a really good question. They said, so Bitcoin has a max supply. Yeah, the max supply is 21 million. Ethereum doesn't have a max supply. Right now, its circulating supply is 114 million. But you could understand why it wouldn't have a max supplies, because there's more coins coming into the space and they have to build on top of them using Ethereum tokens. So that's why it probably doesn't have a max supply. Good question. That was a great question.
Yeah, and unlike the US dollar, they can't keep printing more, like if they run out, they don't just make more Bitcoin. That is what it is. So I think a lot of people are trusting it for a lot of reasons, man. The crypto space is really, really, really strong, man, for a lot of reasons.
And you got to have a strong stomach. Crypto, it pulls back. It's part of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like even recently it had a pullback, but in the stock world, we see those pullbacks and we be like panicking, like 20%. That's a huge 10% is a correction in the stock market. So if something drops 20%, it's like this is going crazy. But in crypto, that's just a regular Tuesday. So we saw 60%, 70% pullbacks in Bitcoin. Bitcoin was at 20,000 and in March it was at 3,000 and now it's at 50,000. So it's like, you just have to, and this is why you don't want to put all your money in something like, it's extremely volatile. It goes up and down. But just keep that in mind too. It's like, it's a long-term perspective, no different than stocks. You got to think long-term with this and just have the stomach for it, because there's a possibility you put money in and it's going roller coaster.
Yeah, and a lot of times when people buy, like anything else, they take profit. And so I think it's some people also have to understand what's happening when you're seeing some of this stuff too. It's like, when it goes up to 58,000, if I've been in for a while, I'm probably going to take a little bit of profit. Or people exchange them for other currencies. And that's when you start seeing these altcoins start rising, because people are like, cool, let me move some of this money over here because now I can put it in, something like Cardano or some of these other coins, and it can go up 20 or 30% really quick in a day. And then I can take that out, put it back in Bitcoin. And so it's just understanding what's happening in the market and recognizing those more so as buying opportunities, especially with something like Bitcoin that is really solid. Like now you got corporations putting billions of dollars into it. Even companies like Grayscale, like GBTC, they just bought another $300 million worth of Bitcoin. And so when you see people doing this, dumping a lot of money into it, it's like, all right, cool, man. I think I can afford to put a few $1,000s into it and let it sit, because they're not putting hundreds of millions of dollars into it to take it out like tomorrow. This is like an entire fund. So they're here for the long term as well.
Yeah, yes. Bitcoin's here to stay.
Somebody asked about Bitcoin and Ethereum in the futures market. I believe last week, actually, I was sitting with Ian when I told him about this. I think Ethereum started trading in the futures market.
Ethereum started trading in the future market. So that's interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Let's get like one or two more questions before we wrap, if we can.
Let's go to Dorothy. Dorothy, we coming to you. Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. What's going on?
Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you so much. This has been mind-blowing. I want to ask you, you said block. I'm new to this. Is investing in block the same thing as what I would be doing if I invest with Acorn? So like I give them some money and they spread it across a couple of different places. Is that what block is like?
No, block is an ETF. Block is an ETF. And so it's kind of like how we've explained ETFs are like an all-star team of stocks, all in one. And so you don't have to go and individually buy a Riot or a MicroStrategy. You can buy the ETF BLOK, and you'll have exposure to all of those just at a smaller rate, which leaves you a little bit more room, right? If you invest in MicroStrategy and it has a terrible day, obviously your portfolio is going to take a hit. Whereas if you have BLOK or block, which mirrors a blockchain technology, you have more leeway here, because if MicroStrategy has a bad day, Riot might not have a bad day. So
gotcha.
It's just to protect you.
Okay, gotcha. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. All right, who we got? Let's go. Let's see a name we haven't seen. Liz, we coming to you. Liz, unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. What's going on?
Oh, fridge break.
Oh.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Thanks for running back from the fridge. We appreciate that.
No, I'm sorry. I hit unmute, but then there's like a delay. Mi gente, my peoples, thank you so very much. I am so excited to finally get to speak to you guys. Congratulations, number one. COVID Thriver here. I went under. You guys were at 23,000. I came to, and you're at over 300,000. I couldn't be more excited. Really love you guys. My best friend of 30 years is on here. I feel like Harriet Tubman. I'm telling the whole world about you guys.
God bless you.
Oh, I absolutely love you guys. So I will be, thank you to Alistair, a brother. I will be there on March 5th at 8:00. Really trying to learn the crypto space. But my question is more so around blockchain. I'm hoping you guys can kind of help me. I've been trying to do some research around this. And to Rashad's earlier point about, it's all about group economics. I really feel like there's a potential here with this technology to really kind of propel what it is we're trying to do in terms of wealth creation, right? As a group and as a community. So I'm trying to figure out, can you guys speak to a little bit about how it is that it's possible through blockchain that you have some communities, for instance, in Africa and other developing nations that are using it to disintermediate banks, right? Or insurance companies, or, I've been reading about smart contracts, but I serve about 4,000 young men of color, Black and Latino in New York. And I was on a webinar earlier with Portland State University. They're teaching blockchain there with some sponsorship from Intel and Nike, right? So I'm just trying to figure out, can you guys speak a little bit, just like I'm a sixth grader, Troy, what is it about blockchain that is so revolutionary by way of through these coins or currencies that you're able to kind of build wealth? I'm not getting it. I understand the susu notion from a cultural perspective, but I don't know how that translates to this. So I'm trying to think about bottom-up social impact solutions and how that correlates with blockchain. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let everybody else speak on it. I don't necessarily think, as far as building wealth, but it's interesting. I'm not sure if that's the best phrase for it, because blockchain has been around for a while. It's actually not even new. Companies have been using it for a long time. But what it does do, and speaking about Africa, it's actually interesting that you say that, because 60 Minutes had an interesting segment a while back with they was in Kenya. And, we talked about shout out to Greenwood Bank and shout out to Killer Mike when we talked about, the unbanked. So there's a large population in America of people that are unbanked. And it's even larger on the continent of Africa, especially in rural places like Kenya. Whereas if you live in a rural area, your nearest bank might be 100 miles away. Mm-hmm. And that's not really, living in New York, we kind of get spoiled where there's banks on every single corner, but you might not have a bank. So what really revolutionized the whole country is that they have these cell phones, which is really cheap cell phones. They're the flip phones. But being that now, the vast majority of the population is actually banked through the cell phone. So even though they can't make it to a brick and mortar actual location, now they're actually able to send money through the cell phone. Mm-hmm. And that's a big thing, because it's all right, you might have a farm, you might need to send money to a family member and 500 miles away. And, previously it was almost impossible because they didn't have access to banking institutions. So now when you have banks like Greenwood Bank, who is a strictly online bank, and that's one of their, things that they're actually promoting is that, they are going to give banking opportunities to people that have been left out of the traditional banking system. And that will only empower, as far as the economic systems, because now you have access to things that you might not necessarily have access to. But the blockchain technology is so interesting, and I'm not an expert on blockchain, but I've done some research on it. But there's so many different things that blockchain can be used for. So when Troy talked about blockchain in the medical world, one company that we're familiar with, Teladoc. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Teladoc is a huge. We talked about Teladoc on Market Mondays, which is revolutionizing the world of medicine. So you look at banking, like an XRP, which has the potential to revolutionize the financial space. So mm-hmm. blockchain technology is something that is actually already in use and is going to be here. Whether cryptocurrency cannot live without blockchain, but blockchain can live without cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So
just a real quick fact, and it was actually on CNBC today. Out of the 32 leading banks in the United States, 8 of them already use blockchain technology. And so that's just something interesting to know, right? 8 out of the 32 largest banks already use the technology. And so we're going to see some more money pouring in. But on a 6th grade level, to explain blockchain, it's a digital record of a transaction for an asset. It's a digital record. And so, like I said, in the medical space, that's a prime example. And I'm glad Shadi reiterated it, because think about those scenarios. How fast could you get your medical records from one place to another in a matter of seconds, where it might be today's age, it's like I have to fax it over, or we're waiting for the email to come through. This could happen instantaneously. In fact, remember we had the NDI, the chips?
Yeah.
They had the chips. That was a form of the blockchain technology, where it was like there was a chip that you would carry with you, and it would have all your things related to yourself, your home address, all inside of a ledger. So when somebody if you had an accident or anything like that, we just scan it and we already know everything you're allergic to, any past medical history. So it's so much that you can do.
And art too. Like I'm a huge watcher of 60 Minutes. I really like that show a lot.
Same here.
And you know, in the art world, if anybody's familiar, art's a billion-dollar industry. And the counterfeit art world is going crazy right now. Counterfeit art world is almost a billion-dollar industry. Like, and there's been several like huge $100 million paintings that have been forged, and they really couldn't find out until years later. And it's a big thing, and it's costing the art world millions of dollars a year. So now if you look at, you know, it's being an artist, this is something that is crippling the art world, because it's like I can create a painting and then somebody duplicates it and we don't know which one is the real one. So now and this is why, like, when Mark Cuban and these guys are so interested in the NFTs, and you should definitely check that class out next on the March 5th, is because if I'm an artist now, there's no second guessing. I don't have to prove. I don't have to put it's a digital record that this is the only one of this kind. So if I make a portrait of myself on a blockchain and it's digital art, it's a one-on-one, literally a one-on-one, and you can prove it. So it's like having a social security number. Like, so that's a game changer in the art world. So, I mean, it's just, we can keep going on and on. There's so many different things that, you know, the blockchain technology will change. And crypto is just one of it. It's just one aspect of blockchain, uses the blockchain, but blockchain is already being used, and it will be here with or without cryptocurrency. And like I said, from the art world to the medical world, to the finance world, to education, I feel like everything will be eventually completely changed by technology, and blockchain technology is one of the leading factors in the new age of technology.
No, absolutely.
To me, it's almost like the internet, you know, like the internet came out years ago, right? But what purpose, like what it served then and what it serves now.
Yeah.
Yo, Justin.
Oh, man. Justin.
Yo, Justin be great.
But gentlemen, no, so I appreciate the commentary. I think what's been happening is, as a result of EYL and obviously all the great content, because obviously I did see that episode with Mark Cuban. I'm sorry, you back, Justin?
I'm back. It's, you know, I'm gonna stop talking this thing.
No, please.
I can't, man. I can't. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, so I don't want to take too much time. I just wanted the last point I wanted to make in response to what was covered is what I'm starting to see is starting to connect dots, right? I think Rashad, you've mentioned in previous episodes, as it relates to Bitcoin, at one point, JP Morgan Chase, right, and Jamie Dimon were, you know, for lack of a better term, were poo-pooing, right, the whole Bitcoin thing. And now all of a sudden on the back end, right, they have all of the institutional investors, right? They're letting the institutional investors, right, transact, right, in their JP Morgan coin, as an example, right? And so for me, yes, it seems like that's where the world is headed. But it also seems like it's an opportunity to counteract the hypocrisy of a lot of these institutions that have traditionally kept our communities where they are, right? And so I'm connecting dots, and I appreciate you all listening. I'm going to keep researching, but this is phenomenal. I really see.
I appreciate that. And that's one of the things that, you know, we try to do with our platform is, you know, we can only do so much, right? It's like, you know, we everybody has to take take responsibility and move the world forward. But I feel like, previous to Earn Your Leisure, humbly speaking, we get insights. Like when you see Mark Cuban, the guy's worth $4 billion.
4.6.
So when he says, NFTs, when you see Gary Vee, who's upwards of 300 million, who's saying invest 100 hours in NFTs, like, previously we might not have got that information because the outlet, there was no outlet to have that kind of, and like, these are serious people. Like, these aren't just random people off the street. So, now it's up to us to actually do the research and learn. And, cause the biggest thing that we always say is that, we late to the party, we was left behind, nobody told us. So you can't really have that excuse now because, you're being told. So that's why I love, like somebody said, like, what's the class at EYL University? The members put together a crypto group, and they're going to have an NFT class. So when they said like digital art, yeah, that's what we're talking about. NFTs, not just digital art, but non-fungible tokens. One of the things are digital art. And they're going to have a whole class on themselves. They're going to
music too.
Yeah. Music,
yep,
collectibles, all of that. And that's on March 5th. So it's like knowledge is power, man. Knowledge is power. And it's a sea. It's like an ocean of knowledge. Like, like you learn something and you realize how much you don't know. And it's a humbling experience because it's like, there's so much more to learn. And this is why, like when we interview Mark Cuban, I asked him how much time he spends learning. And he says all day, every day. He said, I invest in courses, I buy books, I buy online classes. He said, I'm literally learning all the time because I have to stay up to date and the world changes so quickly. So
not letting you kick my ass.
Yeah. So, that's just some food for thought.
Yeah.
But we can never get complacent. We can never act like we know it all. We're all students. We're all students at the end of the day. No matter how much we think we know, there's still a wide range of things that we have no idea about. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like me personally, I hate people that act like they know everything about everything. Because A, it's just not true. And then B, it's pretentious and you push people off by acting like you're an expert. When you're a student, there's nothing wrong with being a student. We can all learn from each other and we can all grow. And that's what we've built our platform on. We've built our platform as being a community of students. We're not chosen leaders or, what I'm saying, divine. We don't come. Our conception wasn't immaculate.
Nah, we didn't come from Nazareth.
We did none of that. We just regular people that just come from a neighborhood that just learned some stuff. And we network with great people like Justin that know more stuff, and we just put it out there in the universe. That's it.
And we thank y'all. God bless you. Continued success and happy early birthday, Rashad, on Dominican Independence Day. Woohoo!
That's a fact. That's a fact.
De lo mio.
Yeah. Yes. Shout out to all the Dominicans out there. I'm born on Dominican.
From the Heights, baby. All right, thank you, gentlemen.
There's two important events in world history on February 27th. Dominican Independence Day and my birthday, man.
Yo, Just, this size different, Just.
That's a fact.
Oh, man.
Nah, Just, we want to thank you for your time, brother, man. Tell the people how they can follow you, any initiatives that you have going on, any information, things of that nature.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram at New Age CEO. So you guys can follow me there. And man, everything is around, like financial education. I've got a motivational mixtape on Apple Music that's free. You guys can listen to it. It's called The Road to Seven Figures. So a lot of things I learned on my personal road from business to finance, things of that nature. And man, you guys can message me, DM me, but I'll just say this, man. I'm proud of this what's happening in our community. People look like us and brothers are smart, and it's not just the look, what you guys have put together, man. So I honor anytime somebody lets me, have access to their audience and vice versa, because I know that's an important thing. So just want you guys know I'll always honor that. And hey, look, anytime y'all come to Atlanta, I got you guys.
Appreciate it, bro. We'll be back in Atlanta soon. That's our second
very
home.
Soon.
So we'll be back in the A soon, man. And so yes, this is an hour and 45 minutes. The replay will definitely be available on YouTube, and then it'll be on podcast outlets on Friday. Once again, this is our open enrollment class. We do this once a month, which just gives you an insight of EYL University. So we have EYL University. It's over 100 past webinars on everything. Like I said, from life insurance, disability, long-term care, how to read stock charts, cryptocurrency, anything that you can really think of when it comes to finance. And then we do monthly financial planning calls. For me, I'm actually a licensed financial planner. And then we do, we have a book club, we have a movie club, we have a MG, the mortgage guy. Shout out to MG, put together the blueprint when it comes to home buying, encyclopedia. I call it encyclopedia, over 14 hours, everything you need to know to buy a home, that's included. And then we have our group chat calls where we just go over our portfolio, our plays that we're making. And then we have affinity groups as well, which, you know, inside of EYO University, members come together, and one of the groups is a crypto group. And I just actually found out that on the 5th, March 5th, they're going to have a group conversation about NFTs.
8 o'clock.
And so that's going to be, I'm definitely going to jump
I
in
need
on
access, fellas. I need access.
that. Yeah.
That's going to be a good one.
Got you for that. And so, yeah, we are currently running a sale for that, 75% off. That gets, you get all of that included for $500. The price will be going up midnight on Friday. So you got 3 days. The link is pinned. It's at EYOUniversity.com. No promo code needed. You know, we'd love to see you on the other side, become an earner.
Yeah.
If not, you know, we still love you regardless. And yeah, orientation.
Saturday.
Yeah, we treat this thing really serious. We have orientation once a month. So Saturday at what time?
Let me check. Jan, what time are we doing this?
Saturday.
Usually she does it like at 1 o'clock.
Saturday at 1 o'clock. Saturday,
1 p.m.
1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We have orientation, which shows you like how to navigate EYO University's website, shows you the different programs, shows you the different groups, the Facebook group, everything you need to know. MG the Mortgage Guys, real estate calls, his blueprint. So yeah, we'll see you guys then. And yeah.
And you get to choose your career interest. That's dope too. So like there's a question there before you after you join, and Jan is really diligent about that, of putting people in places that they can thrive. So
yeah,
again, salute to her.
Yeah, for sure. So all right, guys.
Wait, before we go.
What's that?
We can't not acknowledge the guy that's on the wall behind us.
Jay, shout out to Jay, man.
I mean, I'm sure everybody saw him on CNBC, which means that we are getting closer. And I told you, we're going to keep saying the name. So I brought the bottle down. So Ace of Spades is up there. And that was a huge deal for the community. And salute to him.
Shout out to Jay.
And we're going to keep saying him until he's sitting there next to us.
Gotta do it. Got to do it, Jay. We're waiting. We're waiting,
Sean Carter.
Yeah, we're waiting, man.
If you're out there.
That's a fact. I just.
You gotta keep it going, man.
Just, I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, likewise, enjoy it, fellas. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate it.
Hey, earners, you know how this works, man. Reach out, call somebody, text somebody. You never know what one conversation can do to somebody's life. The trajectory can completely change forever. So please check in on your loved ones, check on your friends, and check on somebody you haven't spoken to in a while. I encourage you, implore you to do that. Educators, you know that I love you. I am you. I speak for you. Keep going. Keep leading the next generation of students. And we out, man. Peace and love. Oh, whoa. Before we go, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to the good brother Ahmaud Arbery, tragically taken from us a year ago. So rest in peace. All the proceeds from this sweatshirt went to his family. So rest in peace.